Matson.
Do you want to be a winner? Then sound your buzzer. Sound your bell. And let's play Winner Take All with our Winner Take All Quizmaster, Bill Cullen.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you, Don Pardo. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to Winner Take All. We're awfully happy to have you back again. As you know, Winner Take All is the show. We've been telling you this now for almost 2 weeks, where you can keep on playing as long as you keep on winning, and vice versa. So if you get on here as a contestant, remember, work real hard, and maybe you, too, someday will be a star. Like our two contestants that start the proceedings this morning. We have back with us, we have our champion, Mrs. Mildred Matson. She is on your left as you look at her, and our challenger, Mrs. Margaret Fever. It is Fever, is that not right? And Mrs. Matson is I believe, a demonstrator. Didn't you demonstrate household goods and things like that?
Definitely.
Oh, for goodness sake. And Mrs. Fever, what do you demonstrate?
Diet.
Do you demonstrate diet? Say, we have you two well placed together, I'll tell you. Did you have an itchy back? I know. All right. Anyway, Miss Matson, you see, thus far... What'd you say, Miss Matson? I thought that's what you said. All right. Someone tune in. We're getting interference from Chicago. Miss Matson has won a round so far and has been awarded a console model Crosley television set. And you know, you've been on the air now on television 2 days. If you get home real fast and plug in your set, you might be able to see yourself. It takes a deal of doing and a deal of moving. What was that object you demonstrated to us yesterday, by the way?
You mean my good old back brush?
Your back
good
brush.
invigorator?
We had people tell us they liked it, and even later on we might even have you do another demonstration. But before we do anything now, suppose we get a question or so in. You want to ask a question, or do you want to have a bit of a demonstration here? Let me see. Mrs. Fever has herself, she has herself 2 points. That's where we were when time was called, so if our scoreboard will catch up with it and put 2 up there for Mrs. Fever, and Mrs. Matson has herself 1 point, and that's where we stand right now. So let's see what happens. Get ready, the 2 of you. Here comes one. Try the buzzer, please, Miss Fever. And the bell, Miss Matson. Everything's working. You've got to be first, and you've got to be right now. What color might you associate with your little finger? The buzzer. What do you say, Mrs. Fever? Quickly. Oh, I got to call time on you. I'm terribly sorry. Pinky. Pink. Sure. Your pinky, you call it. So that's the color you would associate with your little finger. And the reason I have to call time on you, as soon as those signals sound, we have to have a fast answer. You know, free question for you, Miss Matson. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Does the pineapple, Mrs. Matson, grow on a low bush, a tree, or is it dug out of the ground? The pineapple, does it grow on a low bush? Does it grow on a tree? Or does it,
A low bush.
Wait till I look. A low bush is right. You have a point. It's all tied up. I'm going to take that. What'd you say? Oh, I thought that's what you said. We're going to have to get a can of oil for Mrs. Matson here. There's a squeak in the show somewhere. Mrs. Matson, while we got a tie score here now, we have 2 for our champion and 2 for our challenger. We have had all kind of telephone calls from all over from people saying that you certainly demonstrated a back brush yesterday. For the benefit of those of you who are looking in for the first time, Mrs. Matson showed us how she goes about selling a back brush. So I have brought my own in. Sheila, would you, Sheila, there we go. Sheila, would you bring me, there's my own back brush. Now, yes, it's dry. I just wanted to make sure. Now, there are a lot of people who didn't quite get the idea, and they want to see how you go about demonstrating a back brush again. So here's mine, and just a minute. All right. Here's mine. If you will take this back brush, ladies and gentlemen, we give you Mrs. Matson giving her spiel when she demonstrates the back brush. Mrs. Matson.
Well, how do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Our back brush. Now, this is something that we like to call our second-year husband. You know, the first year you're married, you say, oh, darling, will you come in and wash my back? Boy, he just breaks his neck getting in there. The second year, you know, the novelty's worn off, the baseball sheets are either in front of him or the television, and he says, go do it yourself. Will you just be independent? Take it from me. Reach for the old back brush, a back brush, we like to call it both. And then you take it, you give it the old 1-2 up and down, and you know, when you get that itchy back, you know, you can be independent too. But you know, when you get that itchy back and you get up in the morning, you know, and you get up against the door jamb and you do this, don't do it. Reach for your dry back brush, up and down your spine. Look at me. I mean, it gives you pep, it gives you vigor and vim. It's just wonderful. It's a health brush as well as a bath brush.
Mrs. Matson, thank you. Announcement. Here he is, your roving reporter. Say, you know, your spiel got longer since yesterday. Miss Roynell, will you go out and wash up, please? See you later. All right. We have 2 points. We have 2 points for our champion, 2 points for our challenger, and a back brush for everybody. First time we ever hear the whole audience, the brush. 2 apiece. Here's the all-important question. Now, let's see which one of you 2 girls come up with the answer. Ready, Miss Matson? Miss Beaver? All right, here we go. What famous comic strip features Chester, Min, Bim, and Andy? There's the bell. Miss Matson, what do you say?
Andrew Gump.
Andrew Gump. The Gumps is right. And you're still champion on Winner's Take All. Mrs. Beaver, thank you for being with us. You were a swell contestant. You were really swell, and happy candidate to you. And Mrs. Matson, I know you're anxious to see what you've won, so here's Don Pardo to do that right now.
All right, Bill. Mrs. Mildred Matson, our champion, here is something to really dress up your bedroom. First, 1 dozen spring-made sheets and pillowcases. Lovely percale bed linen, finely woven by the looms of the Springs Cotton Mills, Lancaster, South Carolina. And secondly, for warmth as well as beauty, 4 famous Springfield Venus blankets, the warmest blanket of comparable weight in the world today. And these Venus blankets, which are 95% virgin wool with just a touch of nylon, are produced by the Springfield Woolen Mills of Nashville, Tennessee. Congratulations from Winner Take All.
Boy, first we give you a television set so you can sit up all night and watch television, and we give you a lot of blankets so you have to go to bed and not watch television. We'll get this straightened out.
A while back, I had trouble sleeping. So I tried an over-the-counter sleep aid, but it left me feeling groggy the next day. And even worse, it also affected my family.
Honey, are you coming?
Let's go, Mom. Yeah, come on, Mom.
And that groggy feeling was with me for most of the day.
Can we please go to the zoo now?
Yeah, as soon as Mom's done with breakfast.
If you or someone you love has trouble sleeping, there's help at shuteye.com. Visit today and register for a free trial offer. Or call the toll-free number to receive a free information kit. You'll learn about sleep solutions that can help you get a good night's rest without feeling groggy the next day.
Hey, who's up for a ride?
Leave that groggy feeling behind. When you feel better, your family will too. Visit shuteye.com today.
Like someone whose name I won't even mention. All right, right now, we have a new contestant for you, Miss Matson. Sheila, will you bring in our next contestant, please, dear? Oh, we have a lady over here. Who's this, Sheila?
Lois Iddleson.
Lois what?
Iddleson.
Iddleson. Well, thank you very much. Anyway, is that really your name, Mrs. Iddleson? We just put your hand here and we'll sort of hold hands together, you and me.
I have a lot of little sons.
You have a what?
A lot of little sons.
Well, you got a joke there, too, which is more than I can say for myself. Where are you from, Miss Iddleson?
Dayton, Ohio.
What do you do in Dayton?
I write diets for fat people. The physicians send them to me, and I put them in diets that will reduce them.
Well, naturally, I figure you're going to reduce them. If they're, and they are, you say, obese at the beginning?
Yes, but not for long.
Not for long. When you finish with them, they're skinny.
Yes, if they're truthful.
How long you been? Is there what?
Truthful.
They're truthful and skinny when you've been. How long have you been? How long have you been wasting people away?
Oh, about 10 years.
And have you ever had any failures?
Oh,
If
no.
they really go along with your diet, are they bound to get thin?
Exactly. If they follow what I tell them and they don't lie to me, then they're thin.
What are you looking at Mrs. Matson for when you talk? I don't know why you're doing that. How do you go about prescribing a diet, Lois?
Well, I usually decide how many calories they should have, or the doctor does, and then I ask them what they like to eat, and I make a diet out around their likes and dislikes, because then they will keep to it.
You write the diet around their likes and dislikes. All right, that's not. Now, let's take a person who's overweight. Me. Say I'm overweight. What would you prescribe for me? Say I want to lose 10 pounds.
I usually would decide about 1,200 calories. You're awful thin. You're just right.
Oh, boy. Oh, you should have seen me before I took my sweater off. I was suppose I want to lose 10 pounds. What would you tell me not to eat? Or what would you...
Well, you should have the basic 7, or milk, a pint of skim milk a day, and meat, fish, and eggs, and green and yellow vegetables, and orange juice, and citrus fruit. You see, you should eat what you should.
Huh?
If you want to lose weight, you should eat what you should, and then you can't eat what you want. But if you're the right weight, you can eat what you should, and then you can eat what you want.
Oh! Would you go over there and eat what you want? You go over there. I'm going to eat my eggs and skim milk. I want you, Mrs. Iddleson, to meet Mrs. Matson. Mrs. Iddleson is a diet specialist. You probably heard, Miss Matson. And Mrs. Matson's husband has frequently referred to her as being a little overweight. Has he not, Miss Matson?
Well, he knows I got more than my share.
And what you told me yesterday, he doesn't do too badly either. How much does he weigh, the old man, your husband?
Over 200. I only got a couple about 36 pounds on him.
How do you reduce when you want to reduce, Miss Matson?
Oh, I just don't do anything. When I'm active, then that's when I gain.
When you're active, you gain. And when you relax, you reduce. Oh, you've really been whipping up a storm lately there, haven't you? I'm only kidding you. You know that.
Oh,
You know what keeps me thin like this, don't you? Skim milk. Hey, all right.
Oh, no. You know what they say, a lean horse for a long race.
Yes, sir. I didn't know they said that, but I'm glad you told me. Anyone ever asked me, I'll say, don't forget a lean horse for a long race,
That's all right. I'm built for comfort, not for speed, but it's all right.
Well, I was sort of ad-lib, but that's enough. We have a question. Oh, Mrs. Iddleson, will you try your bell, the buzzer there? And show her how your bell sounds, Miss Matson. We have a round that you two girls are really going to enjoy because this round, and I'm not kidding, and I don't know how it just happened to come up, and it did just happen to come up. We worked all night preparing it. This is a round about weights. W-E-I-G-H-T-S, about how much things weigh. Isn't that ridiculous? Well, now, we have some very familiar things that you run into in your homes. And, Miss Matson, when you move over a little bit to the starboard there, the ship has a slight list. Oh. The flying winner take off. Anyway, we're going to hold these objects up for you, and as soon as you think you know what they weigh, we'll give you a little bit of a leeway. We'll tell you as we get to them. Sound the bell or buzzer, and then tell us what you think they weigh. Understood, ladies? All right, now you see Sheila there. She's all ready. Sheila, would you hold the first object up for us, please, ma'am? Here comes the first object. Now, in this one, we're going to give you a leeway of 3.5 pounds. In that box is a portable typewriter. Truly, we're not kidding you. We're going to give you a leeway of 3.5 pounds. Sound your signal when you think you can come within 3.5 pounds of it. Hurry up. There's the buzzer. What do you say, ma'am? 10 pounds. You have a leeway of 3.5. Put it on the scale, if you will, Sheila. Sheila's glad to get rid of this. It's heavy. Put it on the scale gently. It's typewriter's day. You said 10 pounds, and the correct weight is 17.5. So you missed by 7.5. I'm sorry, that's a wrong answer and a free question for Mrs. Matson. All right, Sheila is now struggling with the typewriter, and in just a moment she'll be ready with the next object. Are you ready with the next one, Sheila? All right, now stay in condition. Here comes the next object. On this one, we're going to give you a leeway of a ½ pound. Hold it up, Sheila, if you will. In case you're interested, there are 5 cartons of cigarettes. We give you a ½ pound. Which one of you will take a guess? Anyway, oh, no, it's all yours, Miss Matson. I'm sorry, all yours. Gee whiz.
I'd say about
within a half
4 3/4 pounds.
4 3/4. No, darn, you missed. It's 3 pounds, and a ½ pound wouldn't, we give you the ½ pound, so you still miss it. Okay, Sheila, put away the cigarettes. We have a 0-0 score and a question for which you're both eligible, so hang on to your signals. Now, in this next one, we're going to give you a leeway of 1.5 pounds. Will you hold up the next one, please? See that? That is a telephone. What do you say within 1.5 pounds, please, ma'am?
I'd say about 7 pounds.
You would say 7 pounds for the telephone? No, I am sorry. The telephone weighs 4.5 pounds, that particular telephone. And you only had 1.5 pounds, so that only takes you to 6. A free question for you, Miss Iddleson. Now, come on, you should know about weights. In this one, we're going to give you a leeway of 1.5 pounds. All right, Sheila, would you kindly hold up the next object, please? There are 6 bottles of a favorite beverage, and it's not skim milk, I can tell you that. 6, don't put it on the scale yet. We'll give you 1.5 pounds there. 6 bottles of Coca-Cola. It's all yours, Miss Iddleson. Quickly.
3.5 pounds.
3.5 pounds, you say? Put it on the scale once, please, dear. See what happens. Oh, dear, it weighs, as you see, 8 pounds. So you missed 2. Well, we still have no score. Say, we have a great deal of inactivity going on here. All right, girls, both of you get ready. We have some. This time we're going to give you 1.5 pounds leeway. If you come within there are 2 bottles of milk, or 2 boxes of milk. The bell, what do you say, ma'am?
I'd say that they weigh 2.5 pounds.
2.5 pounds. Oh, you just missed. Put it on the scale, will you, please? And you'll see it's 4 1/4 pounds. And you just missed, because the lowest we can go is 2 3/4, and you just missed out. So that's a free question due, Miss Iddleson. And my goodness, you ladies are supposed to be very good on your weight problem. I don't know what you did. We'll be back here to weigh more objects in just a moment. In the meantime, wait for us a moment. We pause for station identification.
You are about to enter the secret world of hidden camera television.
Muffin time, everybody.
Our mission, to scare the pants off unsuspecting targets, entertain the masses,
Where do you think you're going?
and induce waves of rolling laughter. Our illicit operatives won't stop until the job is done.
My son is in the porta potty.
Spy TV, Fridays at 10 p.m. Eastern, only on GSN, the network for games.
You're on Spy TV.
GSN presents Street Smarts, the show that proves the streets aren't so smart.
Give me a country in South America.
Oh, God, this is killing me.
Africa.
I can cheese everything.
Charmanistic.
Street Smarts, weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on GSN, the network for games.
It's winner take all, and here's your master of ceremonies, Bill Collins.
Hey, boy, we have, welcome back again. Happy to have you back at Winner Take All. We've been weighing things in case you're just joining us. We've already weighed about 5 or 6 objects here, and our contestants haven't gotten one right yet. It seems that they're both weight experts, but they only know about people's weight, and they don't know about objects' weight. Now, we have a free question due Mrs. Idelson, as I recall, and we are going to weigh something for you there. Would you hold up the article that Mrs. Idelson has to do a guess on? You have to come within 1.5 pounds on this one. Something near and dear to me, a smoked ham. I'll never lose weight with it, but boy, I sure get by. What do you say, Mrs. Idelson? Within 1.5 pounds. It's a smoked ham, and then we'll weigh it after you give us a guess. 10 pounds. 10 pounds. You're within 1.5 pounds. We'll see if you are. Would you put it on a scale? No. It's a 12.5 pound ham, if you'll pardon the expression. That just about does it. I'll tell you what. You're both eligible for this one now. I'll give you one more weight problem. I won't be able to get on the scale for you, but can either of you come within 10 pounds of what I weighed this morning? There's the bell. What do you say, Mr.?
Weigh about 135.
No! Oh, goodness. I go about 155 as a matter.
You do?
Yeah, well, I have a lot of things in my pocket. That's a free question. Free question for you, Miss Idelson. Here you go. I can't think of the weights of anything else. Let's see how well you do. Can you name a fish, Mrs. Idelson, represented by the principal member of our solar system? A fish.
Sunfish.
Sunfish. A point we have. Congratulations. 1-0. You are just moving along in fine fashion, 1-0 in favor of our challenger. Okay, ready, girls? Here comes the next question. You're both eligible. Who was the inventor of the phonograph? Who was? There's the bell first. What do you say, ma'am?
Edison.
Edison, right. A point apiece, and now it's all tied up. Boy, we're moving now. Okay, next one. Who at this time holds the office of premier in the Soviet Union? The bell or buzzer? Who's the premier in the Soviet Union? Buzzer, what do you say, ma'am? Quickly. Oh, no, it's Stalin. Oh, that was an easy one. I'm sorry. I was just going to cut it, too. It was Premier Joseph Stalin, and we have a free question for Miss Matson. What popular comic strip figure, ma'am, Miss Matson, is married to a girl named Tess, and he has a daughter named Bonnie Braid, a very popular comic strip character. Don't anyone help?
I don't know. Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy. You're right. That's all right. 2-1. Okay. 2 for you. 1 for your challenger. You're both eligible, so hang on to your signals this time. It's a 2-1 lead for Mrs. Matson, our champion and back brush expert. Here comes the question. Lots of people carry rabbit's feet for good luck. However, one of the 4 feet of a rabbit is supposed to bring better luck than any of the others. Which one is it? There's the bell. The bell's first. What do you say, ma'am?
Left rear foot.
Left rear foot, left hind foot. You're right. Still champion. Congratulations. Yes, sir. The bell just beat the buzzer there. We have a special arrangement where if the bell sounds first, the buzzer doesn't sound. If the buzzer sounds first, the bell doesn't sound. Thanks a lot to you, Miss Idelson, for being with us. And I want to see about that reducing diet in just a moment. Congratulations to you, Mrs. Matson. Here's Don Pardo to tell you what you've won.
Mrs. Matson, you won't have to worry about scales and weights. A wonderful Westinghouse laundromat. The automatic washer with the way-to-save door that weighs the clothes and saves water and soap with every single wash. Remember, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse. Congratulations on
I like your editorial comment. You are really doing fine, and I'll tell you what, I was going to brush my back, but I don't think I will right now. Wait till we're off. We want you to meet another opponent. Sheila, can we have a new contestant over here for Mrs. Matson, please? Another lady.
This is Miss Pauline Ruby.
Pauline Ruby?
Ruby, that's
Mrs.
right.
Ruby, welcome from Winner Take All. Say, where is this you're from here?
Grinning Fish Pond, I-N-G, on green.
Greening Fish Pond?
Grinning Fish Pond.
Well, I'm awfully glad you are. I'm glad you swam over here. How How big is Greening Fish Pond, by the way, Mrs. Ruby?
It's just a wide place in the middle of the road, 8 miles west of Camden, Arkansas.
Where's
Just,
Where's Camden?
About 100 miles right in the central part of the state, south of Little Rock.
I know where Little Rock is. That's in Arkansas, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got it pretty well set up there. What, you say you're in the middle of a lake?
Well, it's my dad's home, and it's surrounded by a 40-acre lake, and there's good fishing there.
It's good
My
fishing.
husband wants to come back to Arkansas.
Is that where you got your husband, by the way?
Oh, no, he's from Mississippi.
I just wondered, do you have a police force in, what is it, Greening?
No, Greening.
Greening Lake?
No, my brother used to be a deputy sheriff, but he's working on the highway now.
Working on the highway? That happened in New York, too. A lot of our officials are on the road gang. Tune in tomorrow because your MC is going to be a number instead of a name. Here it is, winner take all, the master of ceremonies, 31416. How long have you been married? We're talking about your husband and everything.
21 years.
My goodness, that's a long time, isn't it?
It surely is.
Feels like a long time, doesn't it? It all gets... yeah. What does Mr. Ruby do, Miss Ruby?
I'm a preacher's wife and a teacher's wife.
You got two husbands?
No.
Huh?
I haven't even got one.
You haven't even got one?
He's never home.
You mean when he's not... You mean when he's not teaching, he's preaching, huh? When he's not preaching, he's teaching. What does he teach?
He's head of the English department in George Pepperdine College in Los Angeles.
In where?
Los Angeles, California.
Yeah, I know, but I know where Los Angeles is.
George Pepperdine, Dine.
Dine. Don't mind if I do.
Don't
I have
say
time to
it.
fight. I was doing a little donut talking right there. What are you doing here? Someone knows where it is?
I heard him say
There's
Pepperdine.
probably your husband sitting out there. What are you doing here in New York, please, Miss Ruby?
The whole family's on the way to Europe for 6 months.
What are you going over there for?
Well, my husband will have to study and do some research work for 4 weeks in London, but we're going because Forest Lawn Cemetery in Los Angeles has had a contest in journalism for the last 3 years, and among 5 small colleges there in you hush over there.
I've been wanting to say that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It takes orchids and opiates to do anything.
I gotta explain. Wait just a minute. I gotta explain what happened. We have our producer back here who wanted to know. He had a real funny joke, and he hollered out a line that he wanted to ask, and our lady just didn't want to answer it. You go back to where you were. We were having a contest, I recall, in the Forest Lawn Cemetery.
Yes.
All right.
Among five.
Now our purse is open. Wait a minute. Yeah.
Among 5 small colleges there in Los Angeles, and Pepperdine won the first year, and tied the second year, and won the third year.
Good.
2 years ago, when we were at the Ambassador Hotel in our long gowns and all, just finding out who won. Now you talk.
You put on your long gown? I'm not saying it. Oh, you go ahead.
Oh, me. Well, anyway, my husband went.
Go ahead. I'm not allowed to say anything.
We waited the whole year to find out who won the second year. And when we tied with Redlands University, well, my husband told the dean that he wanted some of that money to use as a travel fund to go to Europe.
And that's why you're going to Europe?
And the next year we won. At the same hotel in our same formal occasion when it was announced and nobody knew ahead of time. Well, the dean came up to my husband and said, you're practically on the boat. And so we're on our way now, and we're supposed to get on the boat tomorrow night.
Well, you're what? You're not that funny?
No.
I know you're not. I always say in a case like that, yay, Pepperdine. Would you go over there and say hello to Miss Matson, please, Mr. Ruby? I want you may, if you'd like, Miss Ruby, you may say hello to Miss Matson, but we only have 5 minutes.
Well, we did.
And so that's why you're in Europe. Good enough for me. All right, now, Miss Ruby, will you try your buzzer, please, ma'am? Go ahead, the bell sounds. Get ready now. We have a question coming up. At least I think if Pete hasn't left us. Oh, you stopped sulking and you're back now, huh? You voice behind the scene, you. All right. We have no score. You're both eligible. Stand by with your bell and buzzer. Here comes the question. There's a breed of cat called the Manx, M-A-N-X, which has a very unusual characteristic. Now, what makes the Manx... The buzzer, what do you say, Miss...
It has no tail.
Yes, ma'am. You got that I'm awfully glad. How'd you know that? Did you ever know a Manx cat? You saw one once. All right, it's a good thing he just didn't have an accident. Let's go now. A Manx cat has no tail. That's right. We were going to ask what makes the Manx cat different from other breeds, and you got it absolutely. I'm glad he doesn't have a tail, because if he had had one, by the time you finished with it, it would have been the longest tail. Get ready now. I don't know. Here we go now. You're both eligible. We have Mrs. Ruby and Mrs. Matson. Now, Miss Ruby's ahead 1-0. If you were to go on an expedition after the great northern pike, would you take along rifles, traps, or fishing tackle? If you were after the buzzer, yes, what do you say, Mrs. Ruby? You're right. You've got another point, ma'am. You've got a point there. You're doing all right. Every time Miss Ruby gives us an answer, she sinks into the floor there. I thought we were going to lose you there for a minute. It's 2 for our challenger and nothing for our champion. Now, get ready with this one. You're both eligible. Hang on to the bell and buzzer. Let's see how well you do. The largest of the planets is named for the chief of the Roman gods. Can you tell me the name of the largest of the planets? The buzzer, yes, ma'am. It's all you.
Jupiter.
You are a brand new champion on First of all, in the order of the way I want to start, first of all, I want to say congratulations to you, Mrs. Ruby. You were fine. And before we go into anything further, I want to say to Mrs. Matson, thank you for being with us. You've been more fun than we've had on Winter Take All as long as we can remember, and we can't remember.
It was just wonderful being here. I enjoyed myself.
And I'll tell you what, the next time you come to town, even though you can't get on the show again because you've been a champion, but the next time you come on to town, come on over, and if I can't do anything else for you, at least I'll buy the biggest bath brush you have in stock. Thank you. Sashay over there to the right. You're a champion, and I'm not going to keep you waiting. Right now, I have Don Pardo standing by. He's fresh in from Greening Lake, where he has studied at Pepperdine College, and he's going to tell you what you've won.
And waiting for Forest Lawn, Bill. For our new champion, Mrs. Pauline Ruby, a sweetheart of a prize. From Sweetheart Soap, the pure, mild bath and complexion soap used by 9 out of 10 cover girls, a year's supply of Sweetheart Soap for daily beauty care, and $250 in the world's finest investment, U.S. defense bonds. Congratulations from Winner Take All.
Boy, oh boy. Well, we got a lady who can sell you a back brush. Now you got all the soap in the world. Is the water hard down there in Arkansas?
No, it's very nice. Better than Los Angeles.
Better than Los Angeles water? How about our New York water? Would you say that was pretty good as far as hard and soft?
Most of it I've had is cold.
Yeah, it will do that. I'll say that's one thing about... Well, I want to say you were a champion. You got your first round of prizes, and you are doing real well. It's now a one-round win for our present champion, Mrs. Ruby, who has done herself a grand job.
In a dog-eat-dog world, there is no mercy for wieners, no sympathy for whiners. There is only room for winners. It's triumph and glory only for the best.
It was a lot harder than it looked.
And a trip to the dog pound for the rest.
This is a reality show nightmare.
Dog Eat Dog. Weeknights at 9 on GSN, the network for games.
We're just pit bulls, that's what we are.
In advance. Meantime, I want to thank all of you for being with us. Our time is just about caught up with us now. We'll see you again at the same time tomorrow when we'll be back again with Winner Take All. So until then, this is Bill Cullen saying thanks for listening, and look for you tomorrow. So long, everybody. Bye.
Winner Take All has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Zoutman production. Produced for television by Peter Arnell. Questions by Ted Baer and Alan Wallace. Directed by Frank Jacoby. Technical director Cliff Paul. Sheila Connolly's dress by JLF Originals. Now this is Don Pardo reminding you to tune in again tomorrow at the same time to Winner Take All.